Hi, this is Lauren Lester, and you're listening to the Geekcast Radio Network.
Hello and welcome to Legends of the Dark Knight. I'm your host, Steve Megatron Phillips, and joining me in this adventure into Gotham City is none other than TFG1 Mike. Hello, sir.
That's right. Hello.
Hello.
We are back yet again.
Yes, continuing on in the Beyond universe.
Yes, that's right. That's right. We are also in full swing of getting Year 5 preparations done for GCR. Steve nearly killed himself attempting to get all the first annual GCRN Awards stuff done.
Yes, which should be out shortly around this time.
Yeah, by the time this episode is up, they'll be out. Why is it when I said that last line, I'm like, that's not funny. That's not funny at all. The bang when
Crickets.
Junior shoots his dad.
Yeah. Crickets.
Yeah, so we've got more Batman Beyond this time around. As I said last time, this is a multi-parter kind of episode because we've got the end of Season 1 with Disappearing Ink, A Touch of Curare, and Ascension. And then the first two episodes of Season 2, which is Splicers and Earth Mover. So, it's going to be very, very interesting. I do also want to bring attention to one thing that has popped up since we last recorded. The Arkham Sessions. This is Dr. Andrea... Oh god, I'm gonna screw her last name up so bad. I don't know. It's Arkham Asylum Doc on Twitter and Brian Ward from Shout Factory. They are reviewing BTAS episodes, but they're doing it because she's a clinical psychologist. They're doing it from the psychologically, as far as examining it that way. And I actually listened to the first episode, and she said, this is how I would handle. Because the first episode they talked about On Leather Wings. It's a 30-minute show, so it's not going to take too much time out of your day to listen to it. And she basically said, if this had really happened, or if this was a patient of mine, this is how I would deal with it. This is how we would go about this. So it's a really interesting take. It's an interesting take for a animated review podcast. Something I've never seen done at all. With anything, so I'm interested to hear more episodes. It's been out for a little while, but go check it out, the Arkham Sessions. You can find it on iTunes.
Welcome to the madhouse, Batman.
And with that, I think we're going to get to the first episode of the day.
What's this little toy do?
Careful. It's an exosuit. It amplifies effort and increases endurance.
And?
When I tested it, it put too much strain on my heart.
You'd let a little thing like a heart problem stop you from being Batman? I don't believe it.
Would I lie to you?
No. But you hold things back. Lots of things. It's taken me, 6 months just to get you to show me around the cave?
That's because we've had a lot of distractions, haven't we?
Someday you're gonna tell me the real reason why you stopped being Batman. What's that?
It's an alarm system I set up. I've got it hooked into the prison and a few other places. Helps me keep track of certain friends of ours.
So which one is it?
Downtown, Gotham Cryogenics.
On my way.
Terry! Just in case.
Got some bad news.
Let me guess. She got away?
Anne broke the freeze gun while she was at it. But that wasn't the bad news.
It gets worse?
Uh-huh. She knows where the entrance to the cave is, remember?
Now do you believe me about why I retired?
Not entirely. But tonight I'm glad you didn't stay retired.
First up today is Disappearing Ink, which is the 11th episode of Batman Beyond. It depicts the return of Ink after being turned down for a raise. Aaron Herbst becomes disgruntled and releases Ink from her icy prison. Having had to listen to him for months, Ink decides that he'll make a suitable partner for the time being and uses him to get the mutagenic chemicals she needs to heal herself. And after being healed, Ink captures Batman and tries to lure Bruce into her trap too. Now Ink has both Batmen to deal with. It's not my favorite Ink episode, but I did enjoy it. When I was watching it, my first note was, well, that guy isn't creepy at all, crazy fanboys. Because Aaron's a little out there.
Yes.
Yeah. Let's see. I really liked how Terry's basically stated how long he's been Batman. Because one of my other notes was, nice seeing more of the cave these days. Because he says in the episode, it's taken you, 6 months to show me around the cave? So, by that point, we can tell at least it's been 6 months since he became Batman. So that's kind of a nice little nod. What I do like most about this one is how Bruce and Terry each approach the problem of Ink getting loose. Terry wants to prevent her from getting in the cave again, while Bruce wants to learn about why she hasn't yet tried. I thought that was cool.
Yeah,
How they approach it.
It's interesting.
It shows you... Oh, go ahead.
I was going to say it's interesting seeing Bruce try and analyze, the one aspect of it where Terry is trying to prevent the brute force. It's interesting too because Bruce is trying to psychoanalyze, kind of like you were saying with, wondering why she's not coming in again. But it's more so because she can lure him away from his toys.
Not all the way.
Well, she doesn't know.
No, I know that, but yeah. I had a problem with the fight between Batman and Ink this time around. I know the suit provides Terry with a lot of protection, but she threw him through a steel vat. He should be severely injured, and there are several times in that fight where he hits his head or hits his chin. As she's throwing him around the room. So, I don't think he, even with the suit, I don't think Terry would have been alive after that fight.
Well, there's a lot of stuff Bruce should have never survived, and he did.
That's true. So I guess we can use the example of Terry as the goddamn Batman.
You could say that.
I thought it was really cool. It was an amazing animation effect how they had Batman blasting out of Ink's insides. I thought that was awesome. I love the animation there because you can see that he's got ink all over him as he blasts out, and the music in the background of that chase scene was really, really intense. I thought that was great. And then Ink later says, "What is he, your father? Your grandfather?" Ink guessed it before it was ever revealed.
I do like that Bruce has to come to Terry's rescue.
Mm-hmm.
Which this will be the first of a few that this happens. Yeah. But I love the fact that you get to see Iron Batman.
Yeah.
It's
Bruce in that batsuit is awesome.
yeah, I mean it's kind of like a cross between his original BTAS, like at least on the top part,
Mm-hmm.
and then he's got almost like a Hulkbuster armor with like some Beyond aesthetics to like the belt area and that kind of stuff. And it was kind of nice seeing him actually back in battle, at least temporarily.
Yeah. When he first walks into the place before he puts the suit on, I'm like, hey, it's the Clock King. Because his outfit reminded me, at least the glasses part of the outfit reminded me of the Clock King.
Maybe that's what he did. Because he used Great Ghost at some point too.
Yeah. It could have been more Grey Ghost than Clock King, but yeah, you're right. Again, the animation is so well done in this show. The animation on ink as she gets wet, that is just great. The water hitting the ink and basically saying that, hey, it's oil and water and they don't mix. And the effects of the raindrops on ink were just great.
It's like Venom.
Yeah, it kind of is. Wow, that's kind of creepy. And of course, the episode ends as it began, but instead of Ink being captured, it's Aaron, and he has a new caretaker. Ah, role reversal. Don't we just love it?
And she runs her mouth as much as he did.
Yup. But he isn't completely encapsulated in ice. Since Ink basically double-crossed Aaron and never gave him the whole treatment. She only gave him half of it.
Well, she didn't want to be bothered with him.
Yeah, there is that. Overall, I really did enjoy the episode. I kind of wish there was more of the cave stuff a little bit. But of course, hey, the bat alarm goes off. You really have to go pay attention to it. It's not like they have a red phone that they can just have a direct line to the commissioner or anything.
Yeah.
What else did you like about this one?
I liked seeing Bruce come out of his shell and have to come help, despite his health issues. And like I said, it was just nice seeing him come back out of retirement to try and attempt to save the day for what little he was able to do.
Mm-hmm. Yep, it was pretty darn interesting. So for Disappearing Ink, we have several continuity bits. This episode makes several references to Blackout. Bruce gives Terry a Mr. Freeze's gun before he goes after Ink, because that's how he had defeated her before. Sadly, Ink destroys the gun and asks Terry, what are you going to do now? And of course, as I said before, Terry reminds Bruce that Ink had broken into the Batcave before, and she refers to the previous assignment by Powers to kill them. Some production inconsistency. Bruce gives Terry an electrical discharge batarang and indicates it is the best defense device against Ink that he could construct on short notice. However, Terry had previously employed that type of batarang in episode Blackout, meaning he had such gadgetry in his suit's case already. Terry is reinforcing the Batcave with a metalloid alloy called plastisteel, which is described in its canister as being industrial beelant. This is likely an animator's typo with beelant, probably intended to have read as sealant. For trivia, we've got... I already mentioned the father or grandfather bit, as we find out later. Oh yeah, that's right. Ink's attempt to kill Batman by smothering him within her body was a tactic also used by Clayface in Mudslide. When Bruce activates his armor, a version of the Batman animated series
motif
starts playing. Yep. At the end of the episode, Bruce looks at Ink and says, "Poor deluded fool." He could also be saying diluted, which means to add water to liquid to weaken it, but Terry looks at him in surprise, implying that He was playfully insulting Terry for underestimating him. See, I thought he was talking about Aaron, not Ink or Terry.
I thought he was talking about Aaron.
Yeah.
And I still hold that that's what it is.
Yeah. Despite being destroyed, Mr. Freeze's gun later reappears on display in the Batcave in future episodes. It's possible that he rebuilt it after its destruction. I don't know. Bruce is a genius, don't get me wrong, but I don't know if he's going to rebuild Mr. Freeze's gun.
I don't think he rebuilt it. I think he has enough of them over the years.
Yeah, that's true.
You got to figure how many times he's taken down these guys. He's got to have remnants of like multiple times that they get captured and thrown in Arkham.
Very true, very true. For casting notes, we have Shannon Kenny as Ink. I don't know if she's any relation to Tom Kenny. And William H. Macy was Aaron. So that's interesting to see that William H. Macy, one of the better actors of our generation or previous generations, was on this show. Do you know who voiced Chandler, the boss? Without looking.
KMR.
Yep, Kevin Michael Richardson. That's right. All right. I think we are going to move on to the next episode.
You warm enough, hon?
Well, Sam, I'm never cold. You know that.
My warm-blooded wife.
I heard the DA's office is plea bargaining the Densmore case. Do you know how hard my men work to...
No shop talk after hours. You want to discuss my shortcomings as a DA? Call my office and make an appointment, Commissioner.
Did you hear? Sam, get back! This way! Officer under attack. Shots fired. Gotham Park, Central Drive. Repeat, Gotham Park.
Gotcha. I gotta get me one of those swords.
This is the police. Put your weapon down and step back.
That's her. Kinda blurry.
It's the only photo Interpol has. It was taken at the airport assassination in Berlin.
Who is she?
Curare. She's as lethal as her name. A member of the Society of Assassins. No one knows her original name anymore. Or her face.
What about the sword?
A scimitar. Sharpened by lasers to an edge no thicker than a molecule.
Guess you'll want me to keep an eye on the commissioner.
No. Barbara Gordon's not the target.
Her husband is.
How did she... Man, what do we do?
Hello, Barbara.
Long time, Bruce.
How's Sam?
Holding up. He's scheduled to testify Wednesday at the trial of Fyodor Davich, the international arms dealer. Without the testimony, Davich will walk. So he's arranged for my husband to be hit before the deposition. I see you sewed up the bullet holes.
You're Batgirl. She's Batgirl.
Was Batgirl. That brand of costume justice went out with the Tommy gun, kid. I appreciate what you did tonight, but I want you to stay out of police business. Of course, maybe I'm talking to the wrong guy. Hard to believe you're still remaking your image at this late date.
I never forced him.
It's what I wanted.
That's what we all thought at the beginning. I've looked the other way so far, but I'm not my father. I don't want to have to come back here again. Capiche?
Does this mean you won't be wanting the information I have on Curare?
I mean it, Bruce. Stay out of it.
Wasn't me who set off the alarm. I did the best I could.
This is the last warning you get. If I see so much as a pointy-eared shadow anywhere near police business, I'll drag you and Bruce to jail. You've got me.
Why do you hate him so much?
Ancient history, McGinnis.
History's my favorite subject. So you and Dick Grayson, like, dated?
In college. Puppy love. Later on, we just never talked about it.
People should communicate more.
Dick finally got fed up living in Batman's shadow. He decided to leave. He was hurt when I chose to stay behind with Bruce.
As his partner? His girlfriend? Whoa.
On the street, it was like ballet. We were the perfect duo. But for Bruce, Batman, there was nothing but the street. Eventually, that gets old. Time comes when you gotta hang up the cape. But Bruce wouldn't. Or couldn't. So I left, and never looked back. No, I don't hate him. I hate what he's become. Such a great man. So alone. Coffee's on me, kid.
I guess you never lose the touch. How'd it feel?
Like old times. You better go. It wouldn't look good if... Like old times, all right.
Next up is A Touch of Curare. This is the first appearance of Curare, and it is covering Gotham City District Attorney Sam Young, who has been marked for death by the Society of Assassins, which kind of leads me to think that it's the next evolution of League of Assassins, but never know. It never connects the dots. Who have sent their best member, Curare. Now Batman must face off against one of the world's deadliest fighters. And making things worse is the fact that Commissioner Barbara Gordon, Young's wife, isn't as liberal as her father was when it comes to costume vigilantes, despite having been one herself.
This could probably most likely be my... not to tip my hand, but this most likely might be my number one when we get to the final tally here later on, because this episode has all kinds of awesome. First of all, before we even get into any of the trivia or any of the cast or anything else, I already wrote down a note because I know the guy's voice, because I remember watching City Confidential all the time when he was the narrator on there. Paul Winfield is the voice of Sam Young, Barbara's husband. I love Terry's just, you can tell Terry is still so green as Batman. This whole, taking on the mantle of the Bat. You're Batgirl. She's Batgirl. Was Batgirl. That costume justice went on a long time ago with the Tommy Gun Kid. I love the history in this. I really do. With Curare, I loved how when she was advancing on the house, how figured they were going to trap her in a net. She basically sliced it in half, and it actually caught the guards behind her.
I know.
I thought that was great. Now, I know that Barbara has probably amassed her own small fortune, but being Bruce's sidekick and other significant other for a time, I'm sure he's taken care of her over the years, but good lord, do they have a huge house. that house is freaking huge. I mean, it's not like Wayne Manor size, but like, wow. And of course, you pull the old switcheroo, you leave the dummy behind and take the DA with you. And the history in this, oh man. She basically tells the story of how Dick left.
And she went after Bruce.
And, well, yeah, oh God.
She wanted to play with Bruce, and Bruce said no.
Mystery of the Batwoman is not in continuity. I don't care what anyone says.
It is in continuity.
No, it's not.
Yes, it still draws to that.
But yeah, she and Bruce became an item, became a couple, and on the street it was like, you know, like she says, it was like ballet, but it's interesting to see how she cares for him. And I do enjoy it. I just don't enjoy it in Mystery of the Batwoman because the age difference is so far off. Because she's college age in that, and he's at least his late 30s, early 40s. Curare, even though she is a killer, I think she's really tried not to. Like, I don't know, I know that sounds weird, but there's a point earlier in the episode where, sure, she's killing folk, but she's not, like, running them through like a gauntlet. And then in part of this scene, she just runs through them all. Later on, she makes Terry blind as a bat. Take that, Batfleck. And that ending, it sure felt like old times. What'd you like about this one?
I love the history lesson. I always love when they draw back to the original continuity and try and explain the things that happened in the decades-long gap between BTAS and here. So it's nice seeing that slowly get chipped away at as it goes on. Although it still makes me sad that you never see Dick Grayson in the show, even though he gets mentioned numerous times. But yeah. I like the natural progression of Barbara Gordon in place of James Gordon, and I like the they almost took a different approach with her character when she aged. It's almost like Commissioner Yendel from Dark Knight Returns. Mm-hmm. Won't stand for any costume vigilantes, won't stand for anybody interfering with police matters, although she has a soft spot only because it's Batman. Mm-hmm. And it's not Bruce.
Right.
So that's kind of a nice comparison there, but yeah, it's not one of my favorites, but it's not bad either. It's got a lot of action, it's got a lot of pertinent content, and then I love the fact that it's you know, everybody's kind of up against this vigilante Curare.
Yeah. You know, I will say this throughout the rest of the show before we finish up. If you really want to see Dick Grayson in the Beyond universe, read the current comics. I will forever be pimping that out because, as I've said before, Kyle Higgins loved this show, and he is currently working on Batman Beyond Universe /2.0, and he's drawn back to, like, his run, actually the whole run of Batman Beyond currently from 2012 to now. I would love to see them turn into a new animated series for Batman Beyond. I would love to see them bring it back with like the continuity that they're doing in the comics currently. That would be so awesome. I know they won't since they're past the DC animated universe, but it would still be awesome if they did. Touch of Curare, I liked it. You know, like you said, for the action, for the history, for the lines. Did you notice? I noticed more in this episode than most of the other ones to this point that because of the history lesson here, the animators, and I don't know if this was Bruce Timm telling them to draw it like this, but the animators drew Barbara like her father. What I mean by that is the coat, how her hair is as far as the color, and just the way that she overall looks. She was meant to look like the female version of Jim Gordon. Even though she is his daughter. You know what I mean? It's like, there are earlier times when it's like, she doesn't look like an old Barbara Gordon at all. In this episode, she really did.
Yeah. No, I can definitely see that. And I again, it makes sense that they made her look that way.
Oh, yeah. And that's the other thing. They have, in this episode, they have the same moment, Barbara and Terry have the same moment that Jim Gordon and Batman had in BTAS. Because they go for coffee. And in the end of Holiday Nights, waiting for the yearly tradition of Gordon meeting Batman for coffee, and Gordon's like, one of these years, I'm going to be able to get the check. It doesn't happen until now when Barbara gets it for Terry.
Yep. Terry's just a kid, though.
Well, yeah.
You can't pay the bills.
Okay, that's the other thing, and we'll bring this up as we go along. Bruce did tell his mother that he was getting a job. So I can only assume that Bruce does pay him. Maybe it's only $10.15 per criminal wrapped up, but I don't know. Maybe that's the new minimum wage. I'm not sure for superheroes in the future. But we'll have to wait and see with the Season 1 finale, Ascension, after this.
All these people are anti-Powers? I don't feel so alone. Paxton?
Derek Powers' son. Word is he's being promoted today. As you can see, not everyone was happy with him in his last job.
While you're in there, ask Daddy about his connection to Glowboy. Love to finally nail this guy on something.
I'll see if it comes up.
I apologize for the abruptness of this announcement. Unfortunately, my health demands that I take a temporary leave. Emphasis, I hope, on the temporary. Therefore, effective midnight last night, I've signed full proxy over my majority stock holdings to my son, Paxton.
What did he say?
He's putting his son in charge?
Out of the blue?
I trust that you'll grant him the same respect as you would me.
We must be heard. The board must know. I said you can't go in there. Senor Powers, members of the board, we have come all the way from Verdesa. Please hear us out.
Get these men out of here.
Dad, your eyes.
Our people are fishermen. It is our livelihood. But your son has dumped so much poison that he has killed our rivers. What's going on? How did they get in here?
What's this about poison?
I said get rid of them!
Dad, all the people.
This is all that's left.
Oh my goodness! Dad!
Oh, Edge, this is disgusting.
Good heavens!
Whoa. Powers is Blight. Powers and Blight. Just think, you're both of my two favorite people. You okay?
I'm fine. Batman. Any hot spots yet?
A trace here and there, but nothing fresh. He might have been on the move earlier, but now he's holed up somewhere good.
I think I know another way to find him. Come back and I'll explain.
Actually, something else just came up.
What?
Look out your window. This one you have to see for yourself. You don't want to be here tonight.
Ahoy, Captain!
Batman. Where are you? Show yourself!
I found you. Now it's your turn. I gotta say, a nuclear sub was smart. That's why I couldn't find your radiation trail. This whole tin can is still hot with rads.
It's about to get warmer.
Turn right at the next hatch.
Why do you persist in tormenting me? All I want is to be left alone.
Can't let you run around like this. We've got rules about radioactive waste. And besides, this is personal.
Who are you?
You really want to know?
Yes.
You killed my father.
Do you have the slightest idea how little that narrows it down?
Next up is Ascension. It is the first season finale of Batman Beyond, depicting Derek Powers' final moments as head of Wayne Powers, and the rise of his son Paxton Powers. Well, he's had enough. He's tired of having to hide behind the skin and running from his clients every time the skin starts to crack. So Derek Powers decides to make his son Paxton acting chairman of the board. However, during the introductory meeting, Derek is angered to the point of shedding his skin, therefore revealing his condition to the world. Paxton calls in Batman to help him find his father, but Batman eventually learns that Paxton has ulterior motives. Dun dun dun.
Yep. For this one, I don't have too many notes. Whoa, Powers is Blight. Welcome to the party, Terry.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, something else just came up. What? Look out your window. You've got to see this for yourself. The bat signal, it still works, or at least one of them does. You got to imagine that it can't be the same bat signal that they've used since the original show, since it was destroyed several times.
Yeah, I can't fathom how that's still around.
Yeah, no.
Somebody evidently wanted it in case somebody needed it.
Yeah, I guess. Maybe it's nostalgia. Who knows?
Maybe it's still mounted at the original GCPD building.
It would have been, but Shriek knocked it down.
Maybe Powers bought it.
Maybe. I don't know why, but maybe. You killed my father! No, Terry, I am your father. Oh, wait, wrong movie. You killed my father. Do you have any idea how little that narrows it down? I love Terry saying the line, you killed my father line, and then Powers just be like, yeah, so?
What do you want from me?
Yeah. I don't know why I like that. I know why I did this. At the end of the episode, Batman standing with the moon behind him reminds me of Dancing with the Devil.
There is no pale moonlight.
There is in this show, and there will be in the post. What did you like about Ascension?
I like the fact that the backstabbing runs in the Powers family.
Yeah.
One's trying to, regain his throne, and the other one's like, nah, screw you, Dad. Go to hell.
Yep.
But no, it's kind of interesting. And then if you look at his son, it's funny because it's just Derek Powers without white hair.
Yeah, that's true. But yeah. Wow. Holy crap. Talk about reuse of animation.
I mean, there's a slight difference in there's a thing with the hair, but it's the same face. But no, it's nice seeing that, and then you get the fact that Batman's having to deal with this domestic dispute.
Yeah. So for the continuity bits, Terry refers to his father's murder in Rebirth Part 1, and Bruce mentions Derek Powers being exposed to the nerve gas in the end of Rebirth Part 2. Paxton finally gets his comeuppance in King's Ransom. Let's see here. Trivia. Despite Batman's warning, this episode marks Derek Powers Blight's final appearance on the show. It is unknown if he was killed when the submarine sank or not. The episode features the final use of a bat signal. The episode also hints that Miss Winston harbors romantic feelings for Derek Powers. It is later elaborated on in Batman Beyond number 8, where she survives an assassination attempt and becomes Vendetta, seeking revenge on Batman and Paxton for Derek's demise. Casting for this one. We have Robin Hood in Batman, Steve.
Men in tights.
That's right. Cary Elwes is the voice of Paxton Powers. Very awesome. Yeah, it was a really good season 1 finale. Because it basically, even though we don't know in the show if Paxton, or not, if Derek actually survived, but it was a really nice way. You know, you start with Rebirth.
Well, it's almost like having a trade paperback of the comics, because it starts off with this storyline. Yeah, there's a few other characters kind of mixed in there, but this is mostly been about the transformation of Terry into Batman because of Derek Powers, and because of Terry becoming Batman because of Derek Powers, he causes him to become Blight, who also meets his own end due to his own son. So essentially, it's one big full circle.
Yep.
Continuity complete.
Well, for this season, yes.
Well, yeah, I mean, for this story arc, it's wrapped right
and
up.
I do remember on the DVD sets that people asked them, oh, why are you not doing any more of the corporate stuff for Season 2? Because Season 2, when we get to Season 2, majority of the episodes are going to be focused on Hamilton Hills High School and all the stuff that goes on there. Basically taking Batman out of the corporate world for a while. And then Season 3 is just kind of like a mishmash of everything. Because they wanted to go in a different direction for Season 2. They wanted to... And that's one of my complaints, honestly, for these last episodes, these last 3 episodes of the season. I don't remember seeing Dana once. I don't remember seeing her at all in these last 3 episodes. I mean, she'll come back at the beginning of Season 2, but it's like, hey, what happened to that? I don't know. So, all right, let's start Season 2 after this.
What's she up to this time?
Never tell when they're
Check it out. I don't believe it. Chelsea, you got spliced.
Crazy girl, your dad must have had a spiz fit.
I don't know, Chels. Isn't messing with your DNA a bit drastic?
Even for you?
Please.
Well, then why is the city trying to shut it down?
Lighten up, Terry. The law's against practically everything we're into. You gotta keep an open mind. Here's all the info. Personally, I'd jump on it if I were you guys. Because if you're not the first, then you're the worst.
They call it splicing, the new high-tech teen rage that has taken Gotham's youth by storm. But outraged parents and lawmakers call the use of genetic animal augmentation a crime against nature. Some say it's a matter of choice.
Splicing is like establishing myself as an individual, you know? Just like all my friends.
Yeah, that's right. You tell him that. That's right.
At the center of the controversy is the director of the Chimera Institute, Dr. Abel Cuvier.
I want to assure everyone that splicing is safe, reversible, and more importantly, utterly beautiful. I was the first test subject, and as you can see, I'm perfectly fine.
Perfectly creepy is more like it.
What did you just do to me, Cuvier?
Why, you've been spliced, of course. With a little something I prepared just in case Gotham's self-appointed defender ever fluttered into my business. You see, splicing isn't just style, Batman. It's lifestyle. Something that will literally change the world.
Have you considered checking into Arkham for a little R&R, Doc? Because quite frankly, you're nuts.
You're welcome to your opinions for the short time you'll be human enough to have them.
All right, Cuvier. Call your freaks off D.A. Young, or so help me out.
What's the matter, Batman? Not feeling quite yourself? Don't worry about the D.A. He's dead meat. And so are you. It won't matter. It's too late for you to save Young or yourself.
Can't be helped. Putting Cuvier out of business is going to mean a lot of long nights. Right now, I just can't relax knowing that Cuvier and his guinea pigs are out there doing God knows what.
I bet I could relax you.
Evening, counselor. Hey, commish. Looking good.
But not for long.
Whoa, Sammy. Yo, honey's got some hectic moves. Too bad she can't stop us any more than you can stop Dr. Cuvier's dream. Break him in half.
Sam!
Get him! What's up with him?
Batman, stop! You're killing him!
Come on. That psycho battle finished the job for us.
Batman! Terry! What's gotten into you?
Wayne.
Bruce, it's Barbara. Is Terry there?
No. I've been trying to raise him all night, but...
Bruce, listen to me. There's something wrong with him. Something terribly wrong. Bruce? Bruce, are you there?
Terry?
Nice to see you, too.
Can't say I blame him. You roughed us up before I could cure you.
Cure me? Cuvier. He spliced me in his lab.
With a massive overdose of vampire bat serum. I figured we'd be needing a new supply of the mutagen antidote, although it was sooner than I had expected.
Thanks.
Barbara told me about the attack.
After Batman foiled the assassination attempt on D.A. Young, police raided the Chimera Institute, but Dr. Cuvier and his followers had already gone into hiding.
I can assure you Cuvier will be found and prosecuted for this attack.
Cuvier will be deadlier than ever now that he's being hunted.
Terry?
I'm okay now.
Listen to experience, kid. I appreciate what you've done tonight, but ditch the costume. You can't live a life of narrow escapes forever. It's a thankless existence, and the rewards are small, if any.
Well, sometimes the small rewards are the best ones.
Alright, Splicers is the first episode of the second season of Batman Beyond. It depicts the trouble Gotham faces when a new fad arrives in the form of splicing, after a scientist, Dr. Abel Cuvier, introduced a system of combining animal DNA with human DNA. It becomes a trend amongst people of Gotham. However, D.A. Sam Young works to outlaw the practice and is marked for death by Cuvier. Now Batman must deal with people enhanced with animal capabilities. Dun dun dun. Have you ever seen an episode of Law and Order Special Victims Unit?
No.
Okay. Have you ever seen the movie Higher Learning?
Who's in it?
Kristen Fishburne. Lawrence Fishburne. Oh no, wait, that's Ice Cube. My point here is the Ramrod, the bull, is voiced by Ice-T, who is known for being Detective Finn Tutuola on Special Victims Unit. So I thought that was kind of cool that he did a voiceover. I think it's the only time I've ever heard him do a voiceover in animation. So basically, this is an updated and expanded version of On Leather Wings.
Yeah,
splicing. Splicing is basically Langstrom's formula, just mutated to do other stuff. And I said, well, I do like the story. It's the same old when it comes to the plot. Terry and Ace get some good continuity here because they both look out for each other, and at the end of this, they finally do like each other. And I love Terry's line, which will come back: "Good bad dog." Other than that, this episode is average for me. I guess they had to start the second season off somewhere, and an homage to On Leather Wings, I guess, is okay. I don't know. What do you think?
I liked this more than on Leather Wings, but I ultimately I don't care for it.
Yeah,
it's not the story, because the story is not that bad. It offers growth, where there wasn't before. So it's not, my beef is not necessarily with that. It's the fact that, again, it's one of those DNA type things, and I don't particularly care for it because, again, you're getting the wolf DNA, and you're getting the On Leather Wings, Man Bat, and you're getting. I never cared for the episodes that had the DNA splicing kind of stuff in BTAS. So to have it here, although it's infinitely used much better than it was in BTAS, I still don't care for it.
Yep. Yeah, I'm the same way. Like I said, it's an okay season premiere. It sets up a couple of things, like specifically with Ace and Batman. I thought that was great. Let's see. I do like the continuity of Terry suggesting to Cuvier to check himself into Arkham. Thought that was kind of awesome.
It's a nice nod.
Yeah. According to the episode commentary, Will Friedle was given a copy of On Leather Wings to help his performance as another Man-Bat. So I do kind of like that, even though I don't really care for On Leather Wings. At least they're showing him, hey, this is what we need. So.
Well, and not only that, but it was kind of nice to see something happen to Batman.
Yeah.
Specifically Batman, because let's face it, for the most part, nothing really happens to the guy.
Yeah, that's true. Very, very, very true. This is the first time we see Max. No, it's not. Haven't we seen Max before?
No.
We haven't?
No.
Really?
Nope.
Huh.
I thought it was kind of interesting that she finally showed up.
I must be getting my episodes mixed up then, because I could have sworn she showed up before this.
You and your damn wires.
Yeah, I know. It's just crazy. Let me see here. So, yeah, as far as other stuff, some trivia. Portrait of James Gordon hangs over the fireplace in Sam and Barbara's library. It's a very nice touch. Terry calls Ace Wonder Dog, an obvious reference to Ace the Wonder Dog, the German shepherd that acted in several films from 1930 to 1938. 1938 to 1946. Casting here, let's see here. Terry Garr is Mary McGinnis. Ryan O'Donoghue is Matt McGinnis. As I already mentioned, Paul Winfield. Ian Buchanan was Cuvier, and of course, just your regulars. Overall, Splicers, it's okay for a season opener, and I guess they're kind of setting up with the whole home life for Terry and stuff. I kind of like that. That'll get set up more in this next episode that we talk about here in a few minutes, but Splicers was an alright homage to On Leather Wings. So I think we're gonna get the final episode of the day after this.
Punch it in. I wasn't listening.
Yep, for a change.
Something wrong, Jackie?
I think somebody's been following me.
Following you? Who?
I don't know. But I get this feeling sometimes that I'm being watched. Yesterday it happened in the backyard. Today it was on the soccer field. But when I look around, no one's there.
Jackie? Sorry to interrupt the homework, but I'm trying to work on my expansion plans and I can't concentrate.
We're being as quiet as we can.
That's why I can't concentrate. I get nervous when kids are too quiet.
And maybe we'll even bang some pots and pans together. Anything to help you concentrate.
I knew I could count on you.
Anytime, Bill.
Bill? That's what you call him?
That's his name.
You know what I mean.
Oh. Well, it's kind of a long story. Terry?
Somebody's out there.
Where? Terry!
Hey!
Interesting.
Interesting? That's all you can say? It was unbelievable.
A word I rarely use.
You think I'm crazy, don't you?
Terry, the sample you gave me was just soil. Plain old dirt.
It was alive.
All right. Supposing it was. Do you really think last night'll be the end of it?
And in local news, there was a whole lot of shaking going on in Gotham tonight, thanks to a swarm of small earthquakes. Seismologists give it a 3.5 because it had a good beat and you could really dance to it.
This stuff can turn a person's DNA inside out. It's toxic industrial waste, probably buried several years ago. That's where Wallace fits in.
You're getting a little ahead of me.
Don't you read the news? It was only 10 years ago.
I was 7.
Oh, well. Back then, the DA accused Wallace of dumping this kind of chemical. Nothing was ever proved, though. What did you find out from your friend Jackie?
Not much. Only that Wallace isn't her real father.
Not her father. Now that's promising.
Now help me get your stuff together.
Those things that came up out of the ground, what were they?
I don't know.
You know, otherwise we wouldn't be leaving like this. It's not like you.
Come on!
I have a right to know.
Now's not the time to... Tony? It's you, isn't it? It had to be.
Tony, that was my father's name. But this can't be...
Get away from here as fast as you can. Go!
No! I want to know what this is about.
Jackie, do what I say! Tony. Please. I didn't know. I didn't know!
Bill, tell me everything, now.
I can't.
Better tell her. Unless you want me to.
I was just starting the company. I didn't have much money. I couldn't afford to dispose of my excess chemicals the way I was supposed to. I found this abandoned mine shaft.
I don't know about this, Bill.
The shaft's totally sealed. No way for a bleed-through.
What if there's a quake?
Tony, listen to me. We may be cutting corners now, but someday, this company's gonna be very, very big. Don't you want a share of that?
You talking partnership?
I am. Think of Jackie. No mother, just you. You want the best for her, don't you?
Looks like I'm gonna need a rope, partner.
It didn't take us long to get most of the barrels into the shaft, but then there was a problem.
Lower! Lower! Come on! It's snagged.
Give it a tug.
Again.
He had to be dead. That's what we figured anyway.
Why didn't you ever tell me about this?
You were too young, and besides, it wouldn't have brought him back.
But he is back, isn't he?
What do you mean?
That chemical they were dumping had catalyzing properties. It can scramble DNA with other organic material, like the Earth itself.
What, you're still here? Go home. Go on. Go home. Anyway, Earth Mover is the final episode we'll be talking about today. It's the 15th episode of Batman Beyond. It depicts the emergence of a villain known only as the Earth Mover. One of Terry's friends, Jackie Wallace, continuously feels like she's being watched, and Terry soon comes across a man made entirely out of dirt. Things start getting worse as more and more of these dirt men start showing up. Soon Terry learns that the real culprit is Jackie's father, who is out to get his daughter back and revenge on Bill Wallace, who he blames for his condition. To save them both, Batman must face one of the most powerful beings he's ever encountered. No. Dirt is not one of your most powerful beings that you've encountered. I'm sorry, ink and curare And even the Splicers are more powerful than a piece of dirt.
It's like Justice League, episode 1. I'm gonna fight.
Secret Origins, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, the aliens. Yeah, even they are more powerful than dirt.
I like dirt.
Notes for this one that I had. This episode is basically a villain of the week. It's nice to see Terry out of the suit and that he and Dana are still together. They hang out with actual friends, but the plot for the villain here is just lame as all hell. The one cool thing... I actually have one cool thing and a question. The bad sub. That is so cool. I thought that was great. An updated bad sub. That's awesome. At the very end of the episode, when the Earth Mover is close to dying, I swear I heard a tinge of the BTAS theme, or part of that composition. I could be wrong, but I swear I heard something like that. What did you think of this, other than it sucks?
Other than delete it. I don't particularly care for the episode. I think it's a throwaway.
Yeah.
I mean, ultimately, it's just some creature, and it's... I don't know, it's like Dirt Hulk.
Yeah.
That's pretty much all I can sum it up as.
Yeah. Production inconsistency. It seems odd that Bruce would have such a hard time taking Terry seriously about the dirt monsters, considering all of the unusual and supernatural beings he's encountered when he was Batman. After the second attack, Bill drove away with Jackie and Terry flew off as Batman. It's unclear of how Dana got away. Yeah, they just leave Dana right there.
Hey, Dana, figure out your own damn way home.
Yeah. For trivia, this episode reveals that Terry's age is 17. On the commentary to the Egg Baby, Bruce Timm reveals that Earth Mover is one of his favorite episodes. One reason for this, he says, is that it is more ambiguous in its morality. Its quote-unquote villain, Bill, is not thoroughly an evil man and has tried to make up for his past misdeeds, while the main antagonist, Tony, has understandable motives for his acts but is irredeemably destructive. Ooh. Do we have... let me see here. No way. Please tell me this is... yes, I know. I know I'm late. Oh, wow. The voice for, Bill is, Dan Lauria. Dan Lauria, for those who don't know, was in, Wonder Years, I believe. Let's see here. Yeah, he was the... Okay, maybe not. Yeah, Jack Arnold, The Wonder Years, 1988 to 93. Yep. The dad from Wonder Years is a voice in Batman Beyond. That's kind of awesome. That guy's done a lot of stuff, though. I've seen him in a lot of stuff more recently, too. Very cool, very cool. Alright, so that's it for Earth Mover. Thankfully, that's over with. I guess we're going to throw it to an ad or something.
Sounds good to me.
We'll be back with final thoughts and where we're going to place the episodes after this.
Weekend.
Look, Wonder Dog, I don't like you and you don't like me. But how about cut me a break this one time? Bad guy. You find, me stop. Got it?
By the power of Grayskull, I command the drawbridge. Open!
Yes, that's right. We have traveled to Eternia to enter Castle Grayskull. Join Optimus Solo and TFJ and Mike as they find themselves telling tales of Eternia. We cover all things He-Man in this 45-episode-long podcast. You can find us on iTunes and www.geekcastradio.com. By the power of Grayskull, we all have the power.
Good bad dog.
And welcome back to Legends of the Dark Knight. So, what are your top 5 episodes of the night?
Coming in last place is Earth Mover. I get the morality between the two characters, between Bill and Tony, but just don't care. Splicers is coming in after that. I wish the second season started off a little stronger with the first 2 episodes, and sadly, this is what we got for the first 2 episodes of season 2. I want to put Disappearing Ink next. It's a middle-of-the-road episode. I really do enjoy it, but it's just the circumstances of Aaron and all that are just too weird for me. I'll put Ascension in second place. Really solid season 1 finale, wrapping up the whole Blight storyline. Very cool. And Touch of Curare, because of the continuity, gets the top spot. What about you?
For me, I'd put Earth Mover at the very bottom because it's like dirt to me. I would put Splicers just after that. Following that, I would put A Touch of Curare because despite the continuity, I don't care for Curare. Then I would put Disappearing Ink because I love the fact that Ink is basically one-upping since the last time, actually learning from the mistakes, unlike half of Bruce's rogues gallery who repeat themselves. Especially when she broke Freeze's gun. What are you going to do now? It's nice seeing Bruce come to the rescue and come out of retirement, even though temporarily, which he'll do a few more times throughout the series. And then I would put Ascension because, like you said, it kind of ties up that loose end of the entire first season and puts an end to the Blight saga.
Yep. So, what else is coming up for Legends?
Well, next episode we have Joyride, Lost Soul, Hidden Agenda, Bloodsport, and Once Burned.
I can already tell you I only like 3 out of the 5 of those. I'm not going to say which 3, but I like 3 out of the 5 of those.
I have a pretty good idea.
Yeah. I also want to let the listeners know I am working on getting an interview with Christopher Carter, the composer for the show. So that's going to be interesting once we eventually get that. I think that's it.
I think so too. So, thank you for joining us here on Legends of the Dark Knight. If you'd like to leave feedback on the show, there are many ways to do so. You can visit the website, geekcastradio.com, where you can comment on the episode and all of our different podcasts. You can rate our show on iTunes. Be sure to leave us feedback. You can call the voicemail line, 502-526-5821. Please remember to tell us the show you were leaving the message for and your name. You can become a fan of us on Facebook by searching Geekcast Radio Network. You can follow us on Twitter. My Twitter handle is @SCP21. And what is your Twitter handle, sir?
Dave, Joe, and Mike.
Twiddle hander. So for now, I'm Steve Megatron Phillips with
Dave, Joe, and Mike. Stop twiddling that hander.
And that's the end.
What, no vengeance?
Nope, just the night.
Good night, everybody.